This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Recording has started.
Luca is so cute.
I know.
He's just an adorable little Zucca Papa. Hey, everybody. Welcome once again to Super Connectivity, the only show hosted by two Zucca Papas with adorable punim. Myself, Charlie, the Professor Esser, and, of course, my friend from the Burger Pit,
Phil and Perich.
Hello, my little Zucca Papa. Philip, so good to have you. So there's a film out.
Yes.
That I have now seen, and we can now discuss. That film, of course, is Cats. No, I have not seen Cats yet. I still want to, though, but I have not.
They said, I mean, not only is it bad, but like they had like some kind of like mistake in it. Like they didn't CGI someone's hands right, so they had to like send it back or something.
I understand that the CGI it's not Avatar level CGI is what I'm hearing. It's more like, Sharknado level CGI. That's the word on the street. That they decided to, which, and it's one of these weird things where it's like, you already dressing them like cats. Do you really need the CGI? I get the feeling like they originally pitched it as, no, we're just going to wear the cat costumes from the play. And then someone's like, no, man, we got to do like CGI stuff. And and then they like tried to CGI it all at the end.
I mean,
so, I don't know.
I guess they're afraid to like turn off some adults, but I'm just like, why don't they just animate it or something?
Yeah, honestly, there we go. Disney's Cats. That would be fantastic. Disney could show them how to do a thing or two with.
We still have all the famous people not dancing, but singing and stuff, and
Yeah, you can still have them dance.
I mean, in the animation, but it would actually be the famous people's voices. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I had heard that Dame Judi Dench was actually supposed to be the original Old Deuteronomy. And then she couldn't fulfill the obligation for the original West End show, and so they recast it. And so this was her actually returning to the role of Old Deuteronomy. All sorts of lore out there, but the lore we're going to talk about today is, of course, Star Wars: Rise of the Skywalkers, Rise of
Skywalker, I think.
The Rise of Skywalker. And no, it is not a sequel. It is not a sequel to Dr. Detroit. So, for those who were expecting, Hessman's character, I believe he went by the name Skywalker. Just for those who don't know, yeah, I'll remember Dr. Detroit with Dan Aykroyd and.
Yeah, it's been such a long time since I've seen that movie.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. Well, the actual sequel to that was supposed to be The Wrath of Mom, which they never made. Although, as with anything that Dan Aykroyd has ever done, he always says, "No, we've got a script for it. We're shopping it around." So, but this is The Rise of Skywalker, and yeah, it's a film that happened. First off, I'm going to say this right up front: it's no Cats.
I mean, it's a decent enough movie, but it just, like I think I told you offline, it just feels almost like rushed, like they almost didn't realize this was supposed to be the last one, and they're just like, oh, we got to get we got to get something done. Oh, what's the big threat? What can we call back to? Oh, the Emperor, let's bring it back. Because I'm like, did it seem like that wasn't part of the plan originally? Because it's like, couldn't you like slowly like introduce hints to the Emperor coming back in episode 7 or 8? So by the time you got here, you're like, oh yeah, Emperor, okay, I get it. It just seemed like, oh,
I don't know what, if anything, was planned. I mean, that's always the thing with Star Wars. See, that's the thing with Star Wars since the start. Since Episode 4, what was actually planned and what wasn't planned is really up for debate.
I'm just saying there wasn't you could tell there was no MCU level planning on this.
No, but there never has been, and that in its own way, that's almost the beauty of Star Wars.
I mean,
It's like they don't. Yeah, I mean, what we've known since the '80s was that Luke Skywalker's father was a guy named Darth Vader, and we knew him to be Anakin Skywalker, and that is literally it.
Yeah,
and everything else they've kind of come up with on the fly, from the prequels to the current sequels.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, love them or hate them. I guess since they were prequels, it was easier. But at those, I mean, love or hate those prequels. I think Episode 1, they knew where they were going to be by the end of Episode 3. So
yeah, well, exactly. It's easier when you have a plan. Yeah. No, obviously, yeah. The question is, was the Emperor an add-in? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think that they probably. I don't know if the parentage of Rey was something that they were solid on. But then again, like I said, the parentage of Luke Skywalker wasn't solid when they started the trilogy.
No.
When they originally did it, that was Lucas did not say, "Oh, and Darth Vader will be the father." And everyone knows this because if you read, what is it, Splinter in a Jedi's Eye, they're not. That isn't part of it. That isn't part of the lore. That what we got in the original was what it was, and then basically like everything else in the Star Wars universe, Lucas, is hammering what he has into the hole that he's created.
Yeah.
I mean, it very much is the contractual obligation album, and I said that from the start. That Disney was like, well, I guess we got to make the third one. Because they're making money off of their Mandalorian, and they know that the universe is going to make huge bank.
Oh yeah,
just like this freaking Howard verse that they just purchased with the Conan properties and all these other stuff. Disney knows they're going to make their money back on it. So they're going to make their money back, and in fact, it's not like it's losing money. It's like, oh, it isn't nearly as successful as other Star Wars films they've done. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the last one. It didn't end. It didn't end like. It didn't end in the way that the MCU ended or the Avengers nonology ended. But then again, Marvel was doing it from the start. I mean, they knew. It may not have known where they were going, but they knew. First off, they didn't have to fit anything in. And that's always the problem, is like when you do try to fit things in. And I think you might be right there with the Emperor, that they felt maybe we should bring back the Emperor just to tie up all the bows.
It just seemed rushed because it's like, oh, hey, I mean, there was no mention of the Emperor till the beginning of this movie. Oh, hey, he's alive. Oh, hey, we got to stop this. Oh, hey, he's dead. Spoilers, but it's just.
But, I think they brought back Darth Maul in a similar way. When they did Darth Maul in the TV series.
Yeah.
And the idea that, he, got chopped in half. And again, another character. So I think within that, another character where everything about him is dead. He gets cut in half, he dies, he falls into a hole. And the old rule, no body, no death.
Although you could say all these movies are like the Palpatine saga, basically, because he's been in more of these movies than anyone. He was in the first 6. And then he was in Episode 9. So, I mean, he was in 7 of them.
And you know what the real story of this is? You aren't your genes.
Yes.
You see, that's the thing. You're not your genes. And that is, from the fact that Palpatine had a heretofore unheard of son. And that heretofore unheard of son rejected Palpatine and wanted nothing to do with the Empire. Maybe this is why he started looking for his apprentice. And the idea that he had this son that we'd never heard of, but that rejected him, and now Rey too rejects him. And I'll say this, coming to that end scene, I don't not the cartoon at the end, but the actual end scene of Rey at Uncle Owen's moisture farm.
Yes.
That was beautiful to me.
Mm-hmm.
That she returns to the place where it all started. That is beautiful. And again, I didn't need Luke and Leia. That was not a lot of. I mean, it was fine to have it there, but it was also like, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
did I need it?
I mean,
not really.
yeah, I know, but they always do that with the Force Ghosts and stuff. But at first, I was like, "Oh, wait, is someone going to pick up those lightsabers eventually?" But then it hit me. I was like, "Wait a minute, this is like a burial because they all disappear when they die, so there's no remains. So those lightsabers are basically the only thing she has to bury of them."
Yeah, and interestingly enough, she has her own lightsaber now, which is also interesting. A yellow lightsaber.
Yeah, I thought someone said that she built that out of her staff she carried in those other movies.
I mean, possible. I don't know. What I do know about it is what I liked about it was that the yellow lightsaber. This is something I go over with Tristan, was that if you got the toy, the Luke Skywalker toy, the original one with the white karate suit, he had the yellow lightsaber. Because he had yellow, Obi-Wan had blue, and Darth Vader had red, of course. But you never really saw that his was yellow in the first movie. So that they gave her a yellow lightsaber at the end, I thought was really cool. It was also is that all of the toys for the lightsaber was always yellow. It was never like that light blue thing.
Yeah, she's definitely the new Luke. I mean, she has her own little white karate outfit.
And she's the Skywalker. She's Rey Skywalker. Sort of like, which, although I guess, is like when Obi-Wan becomes Ben Kenobi, It's just sort of taking on this new name to be, because he had Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
See? He had Ben Kenobi.
I don't know. I guess no one else did it, but I was, and I don't. Have they ever explained it anywhere? At first I was like, is that an alias, or was his name Ben Kenobi at birth? But like, did the Jedi make you take a different name? But I guess not.
No. I mean, honestly, who knows?
Yeah.
I think maybe Ben could have been a nickname. And again, it's one of these things which, like, who knows what was going through their mind originally?
Maybe we'll find out in that Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yes, and I'm sure we will. And that's the thing, is like they're going for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, They're going for a new story. They're going to explore things. They're going to explore the rest of this universe, because now that we're done with the Skywalkers and the Palpatines, and maybe that's the real beauty of it, is like, you know what, let's clear the board. There's no more Solos, there's no more Skywalkers, there's no more Palpatines. Most you're going to get now is a Fett or a Chewbacca. There's some Fetts and there's some Chewbaccas out there, but that's really it. And that is a good place for them to leave it. If they ever want to do something with Rey and the Jedi, they can go to Tatooine and meet Rey, and it'll be a really dramatic scene. But prior to that, they have no reason to. And they have no desire to, I don't think. I don't think there's a reason for them to try and build that story or tell that story, because they've already told a lot of stories, and I think they've told the stories they want to tell.
And I think if the Mandalorians taught them anything, it's like you don't have to do every story doesn't have to have a Skywalker or a Solo
And there are none.
No.
There are no Skywalkers left. There, like, literally, you can say that Rey is a Palpatine, but she also doesn't have a boyfriend, so like that line dies.
Exactly.
And I think that might be intentional. She is doing her own thing. And for what it's worth, one of the things I really loved is that idea of her and Kylo being whatever the duality.
Yes.
The two halves of the Force, but what half am I and what half are you? Woo! But we're more powerful together. Yada yada yada. like there's a balance to the Force, ironically enough.
Well, you think about. Yeah, because think about it. Rey genetically was a Palpatine, but she was basically the good one, and Kylo Ren was a Solo, so but he was the bad guy. So
yeah, and I like the little scene with Harrison Ford coming back.
Oh yeah,
they got him back. They wheeled up the money truck.
That was one.
And they did that because that was actually, it was kind of interesting to see. So I was watching Fangirl, McGann the Fangirl, and she was talking about like why it's Solo, and she goes through this very nice explanation about how the idea that Leia, when she reaches out to Kylo, makes herself appear as Han, because that's an image that Kylo would be able to relate to, because his mother had loomed so large in her life prior to that moment. And it's a fair cop, but at the same time, it's also that was the actor that they could shoot new footage of. And that's the real reason why I think it might have originally been written that, it's her and it's him and they have a little mother-son moment, but if you didn't already shoot that, you can't really do much with it.
Yeah.
So
they had limited Carrie Fisher too, because I think I read most of her scenes, like her walking around talking and stuff, is like they got her, they got Carrie Fisher's daughter and they did the whole CG thing on her.
Well, I know in the end that's what they did. Yeah. In the training montage or the training scene. Yeah, that's literally what they did, which also looked a little weird.
Yeah, but
your like faces stuck on in CGI. That face swap was not that good.
They tried. They got her real daughter, so they tried.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, actually, someone said, why didn't you just use her as her and not try to redo her face? Because she does look a lot like her mom did, but I think she looks like her mom did in New Hope, not the way she looked in Return of the Jedi. So by Return of the Jedi, there's some hard road between A New Hope and Return of the Jedi in Carrie Fisher's life. You can read her book. And she is very open about that hard road she drove. So she doesn't look like, but for what it's worth, she doesn't look like, the face they use there doesn't really look so much like Return of the Jedi Carrie Fisher either. It looks, it looks like someone put a classic Princess Leia mask on Billy Lord. So, but that's okay. It is what it is. There's a lot I loved about this film, and I think that all the criticisms, aside from the one criticism of Palpatine seemed rushed. First off, okay, but don't tell me Palpatine seemed rushed if everyone's like, "Oh, Palpatine's back" when the first trailer comes out. It's like if people were like saying, "Well, how are they bringing back Palpatine?" This had been a major hand-wringing concern the whole time. Once they had the laugh, I could say, "Okay, yeah, well, we were concerned, and maybe they didn't deliver the way they should have." As it worked out, it was like, we've known Palpatine was going to be in this from the start. And maybe you can argue, well, we wanted a better story for Palpatine, and that's fair. That's fair. But then again, what story is ever going to be the story you wanted?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not a big fan of, I was manipulating things the whole time, I don't need Palpatine to be Ozymandias, I don't need, well, of course, I manipulated things so you, President Redford, would be president at this time. So I put Snoke, I created Snoke, and I put Snoke there, so the da-da-da-da-da, and then this. And I knew that you and Rey would do a thing and kiss or something. Did they ever kiss? I have no idea.
Who?
But Kylo Ren and Rey.
Yeah, at the end of the movie.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I don't know.
Right before he died, yeah.
I don't like the kissing parts, I'm like little Fred Savage with Columbo. It's like, I don't want to bore you with the kissing.
You're like Luca. He's 6. We were sitting there. He goes, "Did they kiss, Dad?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Ew."
Nobody likes kissing. It's just a way to spread germs. Like I drink the apple juice. It has a natural germ killing.
Like I said, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this movie for the most part. But yeah, the Palpatine thing might have been a little rushed. And then like Kylo Ren just I mean, I know the whole her putting Han Solo in his head kind of turned him around, but I don't know, that turnaround seemed kind of sudden too, because like, I mean, he's been evil in the last two movies. You know, he killed his own father. He's doing all this evil stuff. Then all of a sudden he turns good and he's wearing sweaters from the Gap. You know.
Well, I actually felt like his arc. I actually feel like Kylo Ren had a relatively believable arc.
Yes.
I felt like the first, because I think he's always living in these shadows, and I think it's the idea that he had been being manipulated by Palpatine the whole time, kind of feeds into that. This idea that he's just this super force powerful being who's being manipulated by everybody. Everybody's in his head. He's never being allowed to just be him, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's got weight for him. It's like, oh, the rebellion and the Jedi and the this and the that and the others. Hey.
You know what else they should have did since they had all these Force ghosts and the memory of Han Solo and stuff? They should have had Anakin come in and be like, Kylo Ren, just tell him, be like, Ben, don't let the dark side, manipulate you.
Yeah, but which Anakin?
Well, you know what? I supposedly I didn't see it, but I heard somewhere, I think on a podcast, they were saying they at least had Hayden Christensen, who played Anakin in the prequels, in the credits as when they did that voiceover of like all the past Jedi. They actually that was actually him doing it. So,
well, yeah, because he does come back as a Jedi. He does redeem himself, and that of course should have been the first clue that it wasn't really Vader in his head because and that is where you should have known, oh, the Emperor is out there and manipulating things, because it wouldn't be Vader talking to Kylo. It would be someone using that voice to fool him.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah. Or, yeah.
Now, of course, why real Vader didn't say, oh, no, grandkid, that's not me, I'm right here with Obi-Wan and Yoda. We're chilling. Oh, have you seen the Yoda with, like, human skin?
I did see that picture online. Yeah, that was weird looking.
I didn't find it that weird looking. I think it looked like Mel Brooks. I think it looked like yogurt.
It just looked a little wrinkly, a little more wrinkly.
It looked like an old man.
Yeah.
With 900, you should look this.
That's true. 900, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what do you want? It was a 900. It was a picture of a 900-year-old person. It's like, but it's like, oh my gosh, I can't unsee. It's like they switched him from green to pink. That's really not that overwhelming.
Oh, did you hear? I guess that's the new rumor, is like the next series of movies, I guess they're going to go back in time again. I guess they were talking about going before those prequels, and like we're going to follow around a somewhat young Yoda, like in the old Republic days. That's a rumor. I don't know how true it is.
I'm fine with him.
What?
Yeah, we have a young Yoda. We don't need another young Yoda. We don't need to see adolescent Yoda at 200 years old.
I think a spry 200 or 300-year-old Yoda.
Yeah, again, it's like, I don't know. I don't. I'm not chomping at the bit for that. I want my mini Mandalorian. I want my little baby Yoda being trained in the ways of the Mandalorian. You know what I heard recently?
What?
No Mandalorian armor. That is the Beskar. That's actually they developed that to fight the Jedi. Which makes me wonder that's why they don't take off their helmet, because maybe that blocks the.
So don't get your head cut off.
Force.
Yeah.
Well, no. So they don't, because it blocks the force.
No, like
blocks mind manipulation.
Like Magneto's helmet.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, oh, that would make so much sense. I mean, we really don't know the true canon story of the Mandalorian jet, although they have implied that they did fight space wizards. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm very hyped. It was not a bad ending. It's it's like Star Trek Generations. It's like, okay, well, that was the end of that saga, and that was the one where Picard and
Kirk,
what's his name?
Yeah,
Picard and Kirk meet. And then we said, okay, now that story's done. We've fulfilled the contractual obligation. Now let's make some Next Generation film.
Kirk fell down the mountain and got crushed by
by the guy from Clockwork Orange.
The metal stairs. The metal stairs.
Yeah, stairs. Well, stairs dangerous at his age. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah.
I will definitely. Well, I won't say I'll definitely watch it again because I really haven't watched much of
I
anything.
mean,
I mean, it's like there's too much to watch. I can't watch it again.
there was good parts. Well, like at the
Yeah.
end, you saw Chewie finally got his medal. I didn't even realize, what I heard. That wasn't just
What?
a brand new medal. You know where that medal came from? It
Where?
was Han's medal, and Leia was holding it when she died.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
Chewie got a medal. It's canon in the comic books. He just didn't wear it. He wasn't. He
Okay.
didn't feel it was. He felt it didn't go with his aesthetic.
Well, I like that then. He got his own, but he also has Han's now. So,
Yeah, well, because he's the last of them, man. He's the last of the
well,
original crew.
yeah. But we had Billy D back this.
Yeah, Billy D's back, and now honestly, who gets custody of the Millennium Falcon is a whole question.
Mhm.
So that's it's like, well, it is my ship. Yeah, of course you don't argue with the Wookiee. So yeah, he'll rip your arms off. So I think maybe later, maybe we'll see Billy D and Chewie flying around the Millennium Falcon. Although again, I think I don't know. I think Billy D's. I think Lando Calrissian seems like he's retired. So I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I was gonna say, is he gonna retire, or are we gonna see a Disney Plus series with him helping that new lady? I forget her name. Find out where she came from. Remember?
Oh, well, that would be great. Oh, you get Lando and Chewie and that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, new girl. Because we introduced new characters. Because it's never too late to introduce a new character. So yeah, so you got her, you got Finn, you got Chewie, you got Lando.
We could have Carrie Russell.
Carrie Russell.
She was the one with
Oh, the Boba Fett.
Yes.
Oh, that was Carrie Russell.
Yeah.
See, she had a mask.
That's why I was surprised that she didn't take the mask off at all. I'm like, man, you got Carrie Russell and you're not taking that mask off ever?
Maybe she's got a little of that Mandalorian in her.
Yeah, maybe.
We don't take it off because that's how they get in your brain, man. They'll get in your brain. You take off the helmet.
Yeah, because like I was hearing people talk about how they didn't give Rose Tico much to do this movie, and they're just like, oh, but they had to bring in Carrie Russell, and I was like, why? Could it be because were the fanboys? Did they want a white woman? But then I was like, wait a minute, she could be alien under that mask. She could be blue for all we know.
I mean, to be fair, first off, Tico was in the film. I mean, she didn't have a lot to do, but did she have a lot to do in the last film?
Well, her and Finn went to that casino, that pointless story.
Oh yeah, with the broom boy who we forgot about. Or maybe, and that's maybe the thing about it. Everyone says, "Oh, they took away that anyone can have the Force." No, anyone can still have the Force, but they just gave her a little bit more backstory because, for whatever it's worth, her father might have been Palpatine's son, but we don't know who her mother was.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, it's I can see it being, and for what it's worth, her father clearly was not a Force user. He definitely rejected that whole thing. So it's like,
can anyone be a Jedi, or are we still using midichlorians or whatever?
Well, midichlorians don't make you a Jedi. It just shows.
Well, don't you have to have the right amount and
they've
how to use it?
Well, you need to learn how to use it, I guess. But I guess, well, first off, they kind of they don't really talk about midichlorians much anymore.
No.
Midichlorians seem to be like a simple test that they do, and like if you have a lot of midichlorians, that means that there's a lot of force flowing through you. Because the way they described it, it seems like midichlorians are basically like parasites that like just swim around in the force, which makes you think they might be from whatever planet the Tridactyls are from. Because I can imagine if it's a place where that force sensitivity becomes central to the evolution of species. And then basically, maybe that's the whole thing, is that once the Tridactyls got off world, they started bringing all the, basically the midichlorians got into everything, and suddenly everybody could use the Force. I don't know. So, although I guess the argument is also that the Force is always there, it flows through all things, but you have to So arguably, the midichlorians maybe show how force sensitive you are, how aware of the force you are. Maybe, who knows?
Who-
It's that's another one of these things that what's his name? Wasn't that Alan Moore created midichlorians in the comics?
Oh, I don't know. The
Um,
first time I remember hearing them is in those prequels. Yeah, no, I don't.
oh yeah, but there were actually a lot of as it turns out, Alan Moore wrote a lot of Star Wars comics, and I guess a lot of stuff that people thought were like first done in the prequels were actually done by Alan Moore beforehand.
Oh?
I know that like the Sith were first mentioned in an Alan Moore comic, and I think maybe he even mentioned midichlorians. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. I may be just painting him with that. This is why no one likes you, Alan Moore brush. But
I can't remember where, but I swear I thought they at least once or twice Darth Vader didn't mention Sith Lords in that original trilogy at all.
Maybe in like re-edits of it.
Maybe.
And it's also one of those kind of weird things where it's like, maybe it was in an early draft and then it just never made the cutting room floor. Then when they did all the re-releases and the redones and the redos, they found that footage like they did with Jabba the Hutt, where Jabba has that whole scene with Han Solo, and it was originally just a fat Irish guy.
No.
And then they replaced him with CGI to put actually Jabba the Hutt in there. And, it's just the Darth Vader story all over again. Me and Tristan were talking about like Darth Vader has like 4 different people who played him. Actually 5, because you had the little kid.
Oh yeah.
You have Hayden Christensen. Mm-hmm. You have the guy in the Darth Vader suit. You have James Earl Jones.
Oh yeah.
You have the guy in the suit when they take the mask off. And I think, I'm not 100% sure of this, I think the Force Ghost Anakin is actually a different guy from any of them.
Oh, really?
I think. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I think that was like a thing, was that when they took off the mask, it wasn't the guy who's always under it. And then when they showed the Force Ghost at the end of Return of the Jedi, it's a completely different actor again. Who knows? And then they just made it, Hayden Christensen. Which, again, is a thing, like, how is Luke going to even know who that is? They should just put little Annie there. Back when he was still good and pure. Before, the fear. Yoda was right, man. Don't train this kid. That's not a good idea. Let him have a nice, happy life outside of the Jedi Order, which maybe is a whole thing. Maybe that's what Yoda was saying, Maybe even Yoda knew this is not a good place to be.
He was supposed to bring balance to the Force.
According to who? According to freaking Obi-Wan. What does he know?
Well, again, what is balance? I mean, was the scale tipped too far in the Jedi Order's way? So Darth Vader had to swing it back the other way.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, well, it's all just right now. Maybe you know what? You know what balance to the Force means?
What?
Go become a moisture farmer.
Mm-hmm.
That's the balance of the Force. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to go be a moisture farmer. Because that's, like Thanos, should have just been a farmer. And she likes Thanos, just retires to the old Skywalker family farm a little moisture. Maybe get some power converters later and, maybe a protocol droid if you feel up to it. And yeah, and that's all you need in life. You just need to farm some moisture, Phil. That's all you need to be happy, is to farm some moisture. At least that's my opinion. I could be wrong. Anyway, so yeah, and that's how it ends. Ray farms moisture. Hey, you know what? There's a lot of money in moisture, especially on a desert planet like that.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, it seems like every third planet is a total desert planet.
I was going to say, was it just me, or did Tatooine seem more empty than even when Luke was there?
Yeah. No, they actually had neighbors this time. The woman just wanders by.
Yeah.
Oh, you're moving to the old Skywalker ranch, eh? It's like, yep. I'm Ray Skywalker. My name on the lease. Don't check that.
I was going to say, the house and everything looked fine. I'm surprised someone wasn't living there.
Well, actually, what's weird is that, like, the last time we saw it, we had all kinds of blast marks all over it.
To say in A New Hope, what didn't like when the aunt and uncle were killed, didn't they like burn it or something?
No, they just had blaster marks.
Okay.
That place is south. That's actually the same place. It actually just exists in what is it, Tunisia? It's just a building that's there, and people like go there. It's like a whole tourist attraction.
I mean, unless Luke or somebody like, refurbished it or something. Because I mean, there's a lot of time between Return of the Jedi and Episode 7.
Maybe Vader did.
What?
You ever think of that? Maybe Vader just said, "I want to make sure my home's okay."
Oh,
Where he's from, man. It's where his mom died. It's where his uncle is. Where his brother lived. Like, and that's what to me. That is what, if they do not cast an Uncle Owen and have like a real interesting relationship between Owen and Obi-Wan, I'm gonna be mad.
I mean, unless they bring those same actors back, because remember at the end of Episode 3 when Obi-Wan brings baby Luke to them, I mean, we had a somewhat young aunt and uncle. Use them.
Oh yeah, well we can bring them, and it's still Ewan McGregor. So yeah, I mean that's fine. If everybody's free, I'm totally good with that. And I want to see what their story is. I want to see, where it's like, don't run off and join the rebellion. Don't run off and join the Empire. Just freaking farm moisture, Luke. Uncle Owen was telling you, man, you gotta farm the moisture.
Oh, here's the question I've been wanting to ask you. Do you think, I mean, I'm sure we'll find out in the Obi-Wan series, but it's like, did he tell them the whole story about this baby? Like, this is Darth Vader's baby. You got to keep him in hiding. Or was he just like, yeah, don't tell, here, take care of this baby. Don't let him No.
Luke knew his father was Anakin Skywalker. He knew Owen was his dad's brother. And he knew his father fought in something,
But was it public knowledge that Anakin Skywalker was Darth Vader?
No.
So that's
yeah, but that doesn't mean Owen didn't know.
Yeah.
And actually, I think there's an argument that Obi-Wan didn't know. I think the argument is that no one knew Anakin was Darth Vader.
Yeah, but at the end of New Hope, didn't he know Anakin was Darth Vader though?
No, he just knew. He thought Anakin died.
Oh, okay, because I guess Vader lets it out of the bag, does because I think is
in Empire, and so there is an argument to be made that, so in Return of the Jedi, Obi-Wan says, "Well, I didn't lie in his own way. Anakin killed your father,
really?
Or Vader killed your father." Did he say that Vader killed his father in New Hope? So yeah, so that is an interesting question. I don't actually remember them ever mentioning it in New Hope. So
I mean, again, that battle at the end of New Hope with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, he says something like, "Oh, Obi-Wan, my old teacher," or something. I mean, so
yeah, or something. Well, yeah, he says that, but that doesn't.
I'm just thinking through Force.
Although by that point they're sensing each other.
I was going to say through the Force. Yeah, couldn't he feel?
Yeah. So once they're meeting face to face, they're like, "Oh, Anakin had a rough couple of years, huh, buddy?" Yeah. Well, you cut off my arms and legs and leave me in a freaking volcano. It's going to be a couple rough years,
Exactly.
Just saying.
See, that's what.
Again.
See, a couple weeks ago when Revenge of the Sith was on Episode 3, that's what I was thinking. I was weird. It's like, yeah, he just left him to die like that. I mean, I know Obi-Wan didn't want to kill him, but wouldn't it have been more merciful at that point to kill him instead of waiting for the lava to get him?
Well, just take him back to a freaking hospital.
Oh yeah, he has no arms and legs. He's not going to do that much damage.
Yeah, just Force left. Okay. Well, like, look, just take you to the freaking hospital, Annie. Okay. I know you're having a rough go, but you know what? First off, you got to stand trial for all your crimes.
Yeah.
And second off, dude, you're still my friend. I'm not going to freaking leave you in a volcano. That would make me like the worst human ever.
But again, either A, take him with you, or B, again, put him out of his misery instead of waiting for the lava to burn him alive.
Yeah, prequels. That was pre-Disney. The prequels were pre-Disney.
Oh, yeah.
This was Lucas, cashing checks.
Yeah. Those were Episode 3 was like what, early or mid 2000s. Yeah,
it was a while ago. I mean, and they're again, and this is what I will say about this last Star Wars. No Star Wars is that good. Okay? New Hope is okay.
At Charlie Esser.
Yeah, at Charlie Esser. Empire, probably the best one.
Oh yeah.
Return of the Jedi, it is the third one. So arguably it should be the best because the third film was always the best.
But I think a lot of people agree with you. Empire Strikes Back is one of the better ones. Yeah.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back is the most. It's the best sophomore effort. It's like you go to Empire and you're like, oh, it's got drama, it's got action, it's got a love story, and it ends on a cliffhanger. So it's like everything. It's like Back to the Future Part 2, you know. Well, really, Back to the Future Part 1, where it's like, we got to do something about your kids. It leaves you hanging. So I want to find out what's going on with Marty's kids. So that's where we go to the next one.
Oh yeah, it's the big cliff. It's one of the biggest cliffhangers in pop culture. It's like, Luke, I am your father.
Yeah, well, it's like no, not Luke. No, I am your father. Because he says Obi-Wan said you killed my father.
Yes.
So I think that's where we first get that Obi-Wan says Vader killed his father. I think it's Luke who says that. I don't think we actually got it in A New Hope. So,
okay.
Yeah, because again, like I said, I think Lucas wrote a lot of this stuff after the fact, Well,
yeah.
Oh man, I got it out of my hand.
He was coming up with it on the fly. I mean, otherwise, why were Luke and Leia making out, in the first one?
Well, they didn't make out. They kissed once.
I know.
And then they kiss again in Empire.
Yeah.
And then, but that was just to make Han jealous because no one knew. They were like, I don't know. She was like, oh, I'm going to kiss this other rando. Which, for its own stuff, it's, and again, not cool, Luke, making her kiss you before you swing. That is like some real Predator stuff, man.
That was 19.
That is not the time for it.
It was
not appropriate.
It was 1977. No one knew better.
That's not an excuse, People knew you weren't supposed to force people to kiss you in the 70s. Trust me. Consent has always been a thing, and it was always seemed to be wrong to force people to do things.
Okay. I was gonna say
that's why rape has always been a crime.
Yeah, yes.
Can't fix the thing here. Dang hair. Stop it, hair.
Working with a pretty boy.
That's the problem. My left is right and my right is left. That's the problem there. Oh, now I'm beautiful again. I had no idea the troubles I put up with having hair. Oh, that's why I like to get rid of it, but I can't afford a barber right now. I mean, I could just shave it, but I'm not there yet. I'm not in the zone yet at the job. Anyway, but yeah. But no Star Wars are that good. This was as good as any of them. What do you want? What do you want for nothing? It was a Star Wars film. When pew pew laser had some nice mythos, gave you some mythos, ended on a high note.
Again, I think probably all of them. It just seems like they come up with stuff on the fly. Again, it's not like Marvel planning where you're planning out, years in advance.
Well, and again, I don't know how much Marvel really plans that far in advance. I think Marvel does a lot more on the fly than you think. Just Marvel, because it's from the comic book universe, is used to having to explain themselves to nerds. So,
I mean,
they know we're going to get the letters about this. Like, okay, let's get our nerd brains working. How do we justify this? How do we square the circle? How do we no prize this?
I mean, I know they don't have every single detail planned out, but it's like, at least they have a roadmap. They're like, okay, this movie's coming this year. We know the basic plot of what's going to happen in this movie. Yeah.
Like they knew they wanted to have Thanos be the big bad, but exactly what Thanos' motivation was going to be, how, and it's like this. Okay, we know we have Thanos. Mm-hmm. We know Thanos is looking for Infinity Stones. We probably knew the Tesseract was an Infinity Stone even then. Mm-hmm. So it's like, like those big points they know. But when you get into the weeds of, what is a Thanos? What makes you a Thanos? It's, it's like Frozen.
Yeah.
Elsa's supposed to be the villain. Then halfway through, they say, you know what? She doesn't work as a villain. Change it.
True.
And they changed it. And then they made a much better film. And that's how you do it in Disney. You got to be willing to, develop on the fly and know that there will be nerds.
So I wonder
if you know there will be nerds. Then you know how to anticipate. You anticipate the nerd criticism, and then you redirect it back at yourself.
Well, I wonder if that's another motivation too for ending the Skywalker saga. Is if you bring in like a brand new characters, a new story, it's like you can plan it out now.
Well, exactly, and that's the
There's
idea.
no
It's like,
baggage.
she's, Rey's gonna go farm some moisture, as she should have from the start.
Or
There's money in moisture, Phil.
Or she could train a new order of Jedi.
No, she's not gonna do that. She's gonna farm moisture. That's what she's gonna do. Just like Owen was trying to tell Luke. Just don't go to the stars. Farm some moisture, make it life. That's all you got to do. Because really, that's all you need to do in life is to make a life. You don't need to go build an empire or destroy an empire. You need to farm some moisture and make a life.
That's fine. Just give me my Billy D Disney Plus series.
Okay, well, we can do that too. Well, Billy D's making a life for himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's not farming moisture, but not everyone can farm moisture. There needs to be people who consume moisture.
He could be some kind of some intergalactic transporter, but then something goes wrong.
Well, things are always.
Or like we said, he's going to help that new character out. Again, I forget her name. Find her origins or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that was Star Wars. Thumbs up. Go see it. It's worth your $8.
Mm-hmm.
If you like Star Wars, you'll like it. As well as that, if you like Star Wars, you'll like it. If you don't like Star Wars, which a lot of Star Wars fans don't, that's the thing. It's like that's what you have to remember about this. That most people who don't like Star Wars tend to be Star Wars fans because they liked a Star Wars that exists only in their own head.
It's
there's a Star Wars that they saw that no one else did. And that is the holy grail of Star Wars. But if you just saw the Star Wars movies, you say, "Oh, I like those." Then you're like, "Oh, this is another one of those films that I liked." And yeah, it's one of those films.
It's a good sci-fi popcorn movie.
Yeah, it's no Jar Jar Binks. I mean, like I said, and I don't want to undersell it. They do mythos in this. You get the whole duality. You get force powers, and the strength of the two is more than the one. Blah 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 blah. You get stuff. You get stuff for your Church of the Jedi people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disney is not investing in Church of the Jedi. They're Church of Baby Yoda, Prom. They got their own religions that they're starting. Jedi is like, that's kind of public domain religion.
Mandalorian stuff, maybe. Baby Yoda, definitely.
Wait. Can I just talk about the armorer in Mandalorian? I just found out that is. I really thought that was some Judi Dench type, old school actress who's taking on the role of the armorer, like some woman who'd been through Broadway and been through it all. Just it's like some young lady.
No.
Yeah, it's like a young woman.
Well,
but she's doing it all with the mask and the furs and the heaviness and that lady is an actress.
I mean, yeah,
she is good at that stuff.
I mean, you're fully covered from head to toe. It's basically all you gotta do is get the voice down, gets the the posture, whatever. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but she sells it. She sells it so well, and I was like, wow.
That's called being an actor.
Yeah, apparently she's a good one. And that really.
I want to be a serious actor.
Well, she is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, anyway, folks. Oh, okay, so that's that. Do we want to talk about anything else? Oh, we got to start the other show soon.
Well,
so yeah,
we got another show, Capes and Lunatics. So we have.
Yep. Capes and Lunatics starts now. Well, in a minute.
Yes.
There you go. There's a drop for you. I'll take that slap back from Luca. I'll never beat Luca. He's better than me at everything. Okay. So let's wrap this up so we can send the link to Lilith. Yes. So Philip, how can people find you if they would like to?
Well, if you want to get a hold of me, you can always email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am at nightwingpdp. Remember, you can get a hold of us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. The voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to support the sponsors, Tweaked Audio, Hunt a Killer, Pod Life the book, now in paperback and digital.
Yes.
That's right. And check the show notes on all of our episodes for the link to the Southgate Media Group, Amazon link, again, to help the company bring you such fine products as Super Connectivity.
Buy Podlink the book through the Amazon link.
Yes.
Double your pleasure while simultaneously doubling your fun.
All right, that was me, so go ahead.
That was you. And then, of course, if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way, the way we did in the 80s when the Jedi were returning and the Empire was striking back, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitters as I live tweet things when they show up at Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIE. Yes, that's the look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz. He's the best.
Yes, he is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for connecting us with this week. Please super connect with us again next. Good night.
May the force be with you.
May something. May the Schwartz be with you.
I am your cousin's brother's uncle's third roommate.
What does that make us?
Absolutely nothing, which is what you're about to become.
That was such a good film.
Yes, it was.
Oh, Mel Brooks, make another movie.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to do a superhero film.
It'll be like Spaceballs episode 23 or something.
Yeah, I know. I miss that he hasn't done the superhero parody.
Mm-hmm.